G'day everybody, this is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp and happy Friday. Wow, I hope you all got to attend Trading Room last night because of course we are seeing exactly kind of what we had anticipated might happen today, which was a good reversal. I mean, the factors we talked about last night was that the market was rallying, well, over the last few days, the market was rallying, but the good stocks weren't going up. What was happening was the good stocks were kind of just staying stable, most of them anyway. We had a few great ones, but most of the stocks that were going up were the bad ones. So short covering. Last night, we talked in Trading Room about the fact that yesterday, 494 stocks went up more than 3%, but yesterday 823 stocks went down more than 3%. So that shows you something. Even if you reduce that to 2%, 738 stocks went up more than 2% yesterday. 1,252 stocks went down more than 2%. So where's the action? Even in yesterday's up market, it was to the downside. And as you can see today, we've had a pullback day. So that's certainly a warning sign. If we look at now, look, we could have another up day as well. I'm not saying the sky is falling quite yet, but I mean it's dangerous. Originally, of course, our entry signal that we were looking for. One second here. Um, There we go. The target that we had on the S&P 500 for this rally, because if you remember on October 29th, October 30th, we said we felt that this would rally, bounce off of support, and we looked at the 5-minute chart on the SPY, and we had the target for this was right here, where we had reversed from previously. You can see that orange line right there. So let me just delete some of these other things that you've got on the chart. So that was our target for the SPY, maximum target for this first push, was this level. We hit there. We've reversed and we're going straight down today, and volume's fairly heavy. Still got an hour and 30 minutes left in the market, but 49 million shares so far compared to yesterday's 65. Now we're going to come down and hit some support levels here, but once again you can see there's a lot of oscillation going on here. And once again, play it as individual stocks instead of trying to play the market is our approach. But again, you can see that reversal. And high yield bonds was one of the other main reasons that first, high yield bonds was one of the main reasons we suggested the market was going to rally. The reason why was because we had this head and shoulders pattern, and if we had dropped down to this support level, which is the bottom of the shoulder. So if the head and shoulders was going to work, that meant it needed to rally up to create the right shoulder. So it's a bull move in a bearish pattern. And so you can see it did rally. The S&P did rally. So all of that worked out perfectly, as we called it. Tap, tap. But look, and then of course you had this support back here from this big candle that plunged and went straight back up, which was part of the flash crash in January. So that was heavy support. That was another reason why high yield bonds were going to bounce. But again, look at what's happened. We've now rallied up, and we can actually tighten this line up a little bit now. Now that we've got a better angle, you can see that we've now bounced down off of that head and shoulders. There you go. So the most bearish scenario here is if this continues to drop, this head and shoulders could take the market down a lot more. So again, as we've been saying all week, be careful. Have tight stop losses. Take profit on the way up or down as you accumulate it. And at least that's kind of, again, you might have to decide for yourself what you're going to do. But that's my take on it. I wanted to make you aware of a few quick things. Firstly, ICUI, which was one of our short picks just recently. That had triggered its entry signal at the end of October. It was a drop below this kind of 253 area, I believe, was the entry signal we had highlighted. Again, we had this head and shoulder pattern. You can see there, I'm measuring out the head to the shoulder, and so we picked that as a short. Our target, there you go, was a drop down to this 223 level. We hit that today. So, excuse me, what was the? Let me just double check. ICUI. Our target was 225.25. There you go. And that hit that today. So just you're aware of that. If you weren't aware of it, it's hit that profit target that we had highlighted. Again, up to you what you want to do, but it has hit the technical target that we had in mind. So ICUI, great performer today. On the long side, OFG has broken through its entry signal, and that is actually up today, 1.57%, despite the market's bearishness. So just to make you aware of that as well. We've got obviously speculatively SLS. Is something that I mentioned this morning. It had reported some great FDA data, I believe it was, had a big upshot in the morning, has pulled back. So I've just taken a position in that on SLS. It's very speculative, and right now I'm looking at a stop loss around 180, but I may lower it or raise it depending on where we close. But obviously that is a breakout there, and with some interesting news that could easily stop out like anything, but the rules told me to buy, so I followed my rules. And now, but on the short side, obviously, there's actually some. I wanted to make you aware of some moves here before the market closed. We've got ALGN. Actually, I'm going to go back over to my other chart just to show these because they're already drawn up. I've been watching these intraday. So there you go. ALGN was of course a short alert we published when it was up at $380. Our first target was hit at 305. Our second target was hit at 252. Now is a possible another potential entry point here. I'd still use a tight stop because the market could go back up. So as with anything, it's deal with it as a trade by trade example. So I'd be looking at a stop signal here at 252.77. So that's only a few dollars above where we're currently at, which is what are we at? ALGN 232.84. Yeah. So I'd look at 252.77 with a momentum target to the downside, and of course you could look at options as well if you were an options trader. And with those, I typically look at puts that are at least 3 to 6 months out for expiration, so you can protect the value of the contract. That way, if it goes the wrong way and you stop out, you don't lose too much. But again, options does involve risking all your capital. They can expire worthless easily, so then that's not suitable for everybody. So there's ALGN, Grub. It was another, of course, big performer recently. We picked that as a short at 128. It hit the target of 106.33. Next target was 96.33. This is starting to roll over now underneath the moving average. The next target we have here is 67.73. So again, this could be a possible short if you're not already in it. And it's performed awesome so far. I'd still look at the stop signal being 103.37. PFPT. This one's rolling over. Again, another short setup we had at 105. That plummeted all the way down to 76. Huge performer if you were in that short in the options or anything. That's had a sharp rally back. It's hit that resistance and is now rolling over again. So I do like that as a short too at the current prices, which is 88.79. So I would look for a break from this price to go back down through 88.33. My target would be 76.33 and below. Basically, if you zoom out, that's where the target is on this one. So I'd be looking at a partial profit take at 76.33, and second target would be down at 61.33. We've got a stop signal. We're looking there at 90. I look at 95.13. I'd raise that just a little bit. There you go. TNet. TNET still looking good as a short. We mentioned this a few times. Broken down from this inverted fallen angel, so still looks good at these prices. Stop signal we talked about 51.23. Targets 39.57 and 33.77. We've got SKX, which is a stop signal of $30.23. So we'll probably look at raising that a little bit. It's rolling over underneath its resistance, which is good. And we're looking at a target there of 24.23. And the second, but it could easily continue lower. So we look at a continuation momentum setup there. And last one, and I'm just trying to prepare you all with a bunch of possible short setups because I will be traveling to let's have a look here. So the, uh, I have my lovely partner walking around in the background there. Okay, so yeah, look, Wex is looking great, and it's also a possible setup. If we just go to here, the lines weren't being drawn properly, so that's Wex on the New York Stock Exchange. As you can see, that was a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, rolling down. The target's 153.23, so I would be looking at a stop signal of 177.76. I'd be looking for this to break below 162.83 as a possible entry, and the first target I'd look at is 153.23. So we've got a lot of really good longs that we've published in the beginning of this month, and so I want to give you some hedge opportunities here. So those are, what, one, two. Well, there's about five or so setups there for the short side. So now you've got a great combination of the longs that are pushing up. You've got also a good idea of the shorts that are weak that are dropping down. So, and of course, I'm still holding on to my PE. PE puts, which obviously was an alert we published already, but those are just holding underneath its the head and shoulders line as well. So there's lots of really cool stuff. And look, if you're not a member of the Acorn Wealth Corp alerts, if you're only getting these periodic updates, this is a great time to be following along because, as you can see, the alerts are working really well, not just on the market, which I think has been the most exceptional because we've called every turning point now in the indexes pretty much perfectly down to the day, which is a feat in itself, if I can say so myself. But look, the alerts on the stocks and how we're looking at approaching this market, this is the time to be following. So, I mean, and it's only $9 for a full month. You'll get videos like this 3 to 4 times a week. At the moment, we're sending them out 5 days a week. We also have a Tuesday, Thursday live show for an hour between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific. 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern, where we tell you all about what's going on, what trades we're looking at and why, a breakdown of the market. You can ask questions. And on all these things I'm talking about, we send out text messages in the day if we see something you may want to be aware of immediately. So it's a pretty amazing service, especially seeing as it's only $9 for your first month to give that a try. So you can get the full details and sign up at acornwealthcorp.com/gold. I'm going to be sending out a very special video over the weekend based on where things close, and I've had a chance to look at everything over the weekend and any new really good setups in either direction. So yeah, definitely get set up. $9, acornwealthcorp.com/gold. And to all of our existing customers and the fully fledged members, what a great week. Hope you're enjoying it. Happy trading.